we're going live and we are here. Hi, welcome to Sisters, Igniting Sisters. I am Ivory along with Dr. Destiny, and we're on behalf of Marissa and all our other sister queens. Um, we just decided to do a pop up. We're going to talk about self care. Dr. Destiny did a video, a vid yesterday on a very good topic. She hit some very good areas. So I decided let's just expound a little bit more on that. Let's let her share a little bit more on that. And if you feel like you have something to share, just the link is in the comment section. You can click on it. We'll bring you in. You can type in the chats or whatever and share your takeaway. But we just thought that this deserved more than what we put out yesterday. So we're probably talking on it more often. Doc, I'm giving it to you.
Well, give me 1 minute. I got to pick up a couple little things. Right back. Hold on. Okay, beautiful people out there. This is Dr. Destiny, and I just want to make sure I picked up some notes because yesterday I was bringing out some information to you all, so you all can have this to think about. Do you know anything about your inner child? Have you had experiences with connecting with your inner child? Um, have you have heard people talking about the inner child? Have you did your own personal research to find out what the inner child is? But yesterday in that video, I was talking about the inner child. And the reason why a lot of times that we are having the problems and the situations in our lives that we are carrying, the anxiety, depression, feeling low self-esteem, feeling like we're not worthy, feeling that our value is very low is because of the inner child. The inner child within us, which we all have our inner child. But our inner child, it has to have a connection with your adult self. When we are children, we've all went through different types of things. We all may not have gone through the same things, but some of us has gone through really some really true trauma in our lives, some uh, abuses. I don't know what your situation may be, but I know there's child neglect. There have may been uh, someone falling with you, or may have been someone may have raped you or talked down on you and just said all kinds of things in your life as a child. And what the little child does, the inner child does, it does not know how to handle those situations. It don't know how to express it, especially with someone telling you, if you tell anybody I did this to you, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna go tell them that you're lying. So you're afraid. You don't know who you can trust or who you can talk to. So you suppress all that pain, all that trauma, all the drama that someone else has placed in your life, and you suppress it within you. But as you grow up, become an adult, you be wondering like, why am I feeling this way? Well, every time a particular topic will come up, that I withdraw, that I find myself angry, frustrated, feeling hurt. Because as an inner child, you never got to express those feelings with anyone. You never had opportunity of someone telling you it is not your fault. You're not wrong. So that affects our self-care as we grow older because we never dealt with the pain in the situations. So this is something that I talked about in that video yesterday. So if you want to really go and see more of that information in that video, and it's right there on the channel that you can click on it. So let me go back and let's see what Avery want to add something toward this, and we can go further deeper into this. And you want to discuss it, then you're welcome to also to come up on the panel, and we will drop the link in the chat. But so Avery, you take it from here. If you need me to touch on any more about our inner child, just give me some of things, okay?
Doc, I really think that you were on point about the inner child, how we suppress it. And it might not all be just a physical abuse. It could be an emotional abuse that you have taken, mental abuse, and verbal
Hmm.
abuse. And I think that verbal abuse is one of the most
Yes.
penetrating one, because it kind of stays with you, especially if you hear it over and over and over again. And when you suppress it, and you, I mean, because you have no way of getting it out, or you don't know how to get it out, or how to share it,
Right.
or who can you trust with it. And then it just goes with you for life, especially as a young person, having gone through that. And then as you get adult, becoming an adult, it damages you. And when it damages you, it causes you to damage relationships, because
Yes.
the, the hurt that you're dealing with, it kind of gives you a trust issue, or
Yes.
maybe you put up a shield. You want to guard. You can come. I'll let you come, but you can only come so far. So
Right.
it's a lot of stuff like that, that you haven't deal with. And then, as she was saying, it might be something that come along and it triggers that. Um, and it triggers that hurt from that childhood, or back when, or that hurt
Hmm.
from that happened. It could have been adult life that you had suppressed, you had pushed back, and something comes on and triggers it, and you relive it. And the pain and the stuff that you have dealt with, or you didn't deal with, now you're dealing with it, but your pain and your frustration, you're putting it out on people that genuinely care for you. If that makes any sense.
Yes, that all makes sense. And like I said, Avery, it's always going to come from those triggers because those things that we have gone on and we have a lot of times we have put them on the back burner. We have dismissed those kind of reactions and things, those experiences. And so now we're just moving on into our life as an adult. We all having basically our own families now to raise and our children's. And then we may see these little things within our children's personalities or their behaviors. And then that bring back that memories of something that has happened to you in your past. Or someone comes up to you and they'll just start talking about particular things, not knowing your situation or things that you may experience. And here come all those emotions. Here come all those hurts and pains, just like you lived it way back then. They become very present at that moment, which is just overpowering through your mind. And so all you know is this, it's that shutdown mode. You know, that fight or that flight mode. Which one you gonna take? Am I gonna fight this thing and go push through it? Or am I gonna just run? Like we've been running for so long away from the situations instead of saying, I give up, I need help. Cry out and say, I need help. But we are afraid to ask for help sometimes because we think that people look at us as being weak. People look at us as being vulnerable or not being wise enough to, saying. So we have our personal reasons why we do shut down on things because we shut down because I
Also,
don't want to talk about it or face it. Yes, go ahead.
you probably shut down too, because of the past hurt, that where you thought you had someone you could confide in,
Right.
and here is your business or whatever. It's all over the place, so you don't
Right.
know who you can trust. But I know that there's one that you can trust. You can take it to the Lord in prayer for sure. That's the first thing I would do. But then
Mhm.
you pray for the right person to come in your path, and you will know who that confidant. I think that's what Dr. Destiny called it, a confidant. You know that true
Confident.
confidant that you confide in. You know you can let your hair down. You can be you with them. No judgment. No feeling like you're being analyzed. Talking from
Yes.
experience, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about what works for me, because I've been in those situations, going through those situations,
Right.
and I'm just sharing with my sisters, being
Right.
transparent.
Exactly. Now, your inner child is just It's your true self. That's a part. That's who you are. Let me say. And I got some notes here. It said your inner child. It is you, whether you're a male or a female. We all have our inner child because we have. That's where we first start our lives as a child. So these experiences and things that we go through life as our inner child, a lot of times, we have happy moments. We may have some really fantastic, super moments. Then we have a lot of bad moments as well as bad experiences. And it does not necessarily always have to come from our household, but it becomes through the school systems, our communities, our neighbors, our siblings, can be really hard and rough on each other. They say ugly things, and it depends on the relationships in your home, that between mom and dad. You might see mom and dad fighting all the time, or calling each other names and saying horrible things. Or you may see your mama get slapped or daddy get thrown on the head. Those things have a very, very high effect on children, because this is what I'm seeing in front of me. So if this is real, what life is supposed to be like, and then you're hearing mom and daddy may say ugly things about, I never should have had kids, blah blah blah. That is a really slap in the face to hear a parent say, I should have never had no kids. So you take all those hard moments and those things that you're hearing, and your inner child is affected. Your inner child is hurt. That inner child is damaged, because now I can't go to mom, I can't go to dad and talk about what I'm feeling, because they already don't want me. That's what they say, because they wish they never had no children. So who am I supposed to talk to? So the inner child, like I said, it is you, whether you're a male or female. We all have the inner child, and it's a part of our subconscious mind. We have our subconscious mind, that plays within your ego. That ego part of you, that's your subconscious mind, your subconscious state of mind. But we have to get out of the subconscious state of mind. We got to move to that consciousness. We have to move into our highest state of consciousness to really understand who we are, our purpose, and why we are here. And then we can kind of like, put a whole grip on some of these things, so we can kind of like put them out in front of us, and we can find someone that we can be able to talk to. But it is a part of our subconscious mind that has been picking up messages from a very, very long time, way before we understand what's going on in our lives. Like you were saying, Ivory, a lot of this stuff can come from our mental state of mind, our mental abuse, or even also our emotional state of mind. It's what we have experienced through life, and it all triggers like that place where you were as a child when those things may have happened to you. So
And other thing that will help, and I'm learning this as I go too, is being mindful. When she said something about higher consciousness, being
mhm,
present, being mindful. Okay, I'm
yes,
not that little girl anymore. I'm not that individual anymore. This is who I am now. Uh, and you have to figure out how you're going to deal with that past. Back then, maybe I was defenseless. I couldn't help myself. I
right,
didn't have, but I am an adult now. That was back then. I'm grown, and I have to deal with it in a different way. Um, and when you're getting in that state, when you find yourself getting where you want to shut down, where you want to close up, um, just be by yourself. Be by yourself. Um, I would say start journaling. I used to do that all the time when I was younger, and as I got older, I kind of got away from it. But writing it down, at least you're getting it out. It helps. I'll get back to you, Doc.
now cool. You making a lot of sense. Go ahead. I enjoy what you're saying.
Yeah, journaling, it really helps. Um,
Yes,
and then reminding, like I said, be reminding yourself, being right there in the moment. I'm not that individual anymore. I
right,
am capable of getting through this. I and being vocal, expressing yourself. She said about talking to people, but make sure you're talking to the right people.
right. So, like I said, it's things like I said. Maybe mom and dad, saw that you had. a state of depression during the childhood, or that you panic a lot, going through panic attacks, but nobody seek out to go to the next level to try to give you that help that you needed. Because how can you help someone when you're in need of that very same help yourself, and you're afraid, and you're running from the truth. You're running from your true self. You're running from the true things that has actually really happened, that's been so horrifying to your life. So how can you help someone when you're in that state of being needed? Guidance, love, security, protection. You don't know how to give someone something if you have not experienced it. You don't know how to tell someone how to live their life any way unless you experience those things yourself. So, but you never went to the next level to reach out to help yourself. So you never help your children or family members or a spouse or some significant others. So these people, everybody is struggling and fighting for themselves to survive. So during those processes of trying to survive life through those hurts and pains and the withdrawals, the abuse, the aggressiveness that goes on in your life, then you sometimes give up hope on yourself. You don't care. It doesn't matter. I can do this. Who cares? People gonna talk about me anyway. So why not? So you start giving yourselves in a lot of times to different things because you're empty. You're needing love. You're needing that attention. You may come very may come that person that you have this very strong sexual desire because you feel like that's gonna make me feel better. Somebody gonna love me. None of that stuff is not gonna replace what you actually really need. Drinking. You might become a very addicted to drugs or drinking alcohol. And promiscuous with sex and activities and things because what you're looking for. You're looking for something to fill those empty places and those empty holes in your life, those patches that has been ripped out of you as a child. And like I said, you're a child that has gone through this. I'm so sorry, but you had abusive relationships that people force themselves on you, like, or you've been bonded with by relatives or parents or whoever they may have been. Those are things that it takes years of healing, and it makes you feel like I'm not worthy, I'm not special. And that's where your self-care comes in at that place when you're older. I don't care no more. But you gotta love who you are. You gotta learn how to love the special person you are because God created you as being fearfully and wonderfully made, created in his likeness and his image, and he loves you. He values you, he treasures you. You are his masterpiece. But you can't see yourself that way. So how I read him say, how do we get to the place of seeing ourselves valuable, worthy of love and care, and feeling like that we are valuable in everything we do? How do we earn our respect to get to that place where self-care really comes back into the forefront, where it really matters to us?
I would say that and for me it was once I got my gave my life to the Lord and built a relationship with the Lord, and I got to see how he see me and who I am in him and who he is, and that made me start seeing my worth. Another thing is looking in the mirror and talking to that person, that lady in the mirror, that guy in the mirror, whoever it is, when you talk to them and you can speak what God says about you, or your affirmation, and not just say it to be saying it, but believe it. Um, it was something she said uh, um, back a while back, and I was thinking about somehow sometimes we become some of our due to the past hurt or whatever, we
Mm-hmm.
become because we feel like everything's been taken from us, and then when we get something, it's ours. We become
Right.
possessed. It's mine. It's mine. I need something to belong to me, because everything else
Exactly.
been taken from me. And and I had this revelation that we own nothing in this world. We own nothing. Um, um, but to believe in ourselves and be mindful of our thoughts. believe in ourselves, trust God. But I don't know where that fit in, but that was showed to me how because I know certain things I'm very possessive. So
Right.
it's mine, and I had the Lord had given me a revelation that nothing in this world is mine just for me.
Right.
When He gives me something, it's not just for me; it's for those
Right.
He put in to be a blessing. And part of that, say this, part of the damage, part of the hurt that I went through. You heard, I don't know, have you heard that saying? Hurt people,
Right.
and so I become very possessive of certain things or certain people. That's a sign. You start asking yourself, and this is a good question. I suggest that you do guys this book that we're reading, and I don't want to get into it right now, but it's telling us to ask yourself, why do I do this? What every time this happens, I respond this way, but why?
Right.
But and another thing I add this here because she was talking about how do we find value. We stop letting people determine your value, your worth.
Exactly.
Looking for people to validate you, to for their opinion. Because it takes everything. I'm talking about me. It takes everything from you. You give them so much power over you. You know your worth. You know your value. Uh, you teach people how to treat you. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. Some things I know, but you can know a thing, but it's a different to know a
Right.
thing because you're doing it. But stop giving people control and power over you. Love yourself, believe in yourself, and um, stop caring about what everybody else thinks.
Right.
Back to you.
Wow. Wow, you hit a whole lot of good points there, Ivory. I mean, stop letting people validate you. That's a good point. You gotta know your own self worth, your self value. You gotta love yourself first because you can't love anyone else without first loving who you are, loving the skin you in, loving how you're created. And you say, well, how do I do that? And hey, sometimes we just got to get down to the raw truth. Get up in front of the mirror and look at who you are, because the person in the mirror that's the real you looking back at you. And so you got to accept you are your flaws and all. It doesn't matter. Beauty is within us. And if he say that he created us as his masterpiece, that's beauty right there. We got to see the beauty that he has created us. And so accept us. Now, on another point, you was talking about, I can't remember. We like that I kind of thing, minds, me, whatever. A lot of times we find ourselves, gotta identify ourselves with holding on to things, saying this is mine and I'm not giving it up and blah blah this because we feel that we need to find a place where we have our own security, our own control. And so that's why I say if I can say that I own this, I possess this, then that feels like I'm giving me power over things and over people. And you might be speaking those things, but you really may not be actually walking into the full power of believing in it. But you have that little mustard seed of faith that enough to speak it. And the more that you speak anything out loud, say it, agree with it, then it becomes a reality. It will start manifesting itself. And that's going to be a totally different place of being possessive or being greedy or trying to be in control or everything. You just speaking out your truth, your power within you, because everything that we need is inside of us. And we have to go deep within the spirit, the soul, the mind, the body within us. He put everything already in us from the very foundation of the world. So we are beings that have the need and desire to be something, to be somebody. Even though when we're being downgraded or we're being told that we are not, and you can't have this, and you can't do this, and you're taking this away, that away. So we feel like we gotta come in, we gotta possess things and hold on to things and fight for things because we've been ripped and stripped away from so much of our value and our identity. Our identity has been really damaged and destroyed from the very beginning when we first came into this world. We got into everybody's hands. We got into a whole lot of people's ways. The world systems out there, the matrix systems out there, the government systems out there, religion systems, the school systems. Every system had had some kind of control. Even our family systems and things has had some kind of control and power over us. Has been redirecting us into this way and that way and that way. But only one way that we are what we are, and we have to believe. And that's what he says about us. That's what God says about us, who we are. And he tells us that we are his masterpiece. We are created in his likeness. We are created in his image. And he loved us so much that he took his time as he was creating man from the heart of the earth. And he put his own breath into us. That's where life came. That's when we became the greatest, our best self right there. That's when we became our consciousness state of mind where we lost that consciousness higher state of mind is when man they sinned in the garden and the blame game came in place, and that's where all the blame now started. Somebody got to blame you for this. Well, the devil made me do it. Well, this serpent made me do it. It made me eat this apple. Made me eat this fruit. Made me whatever. It's always to play the mind game because we learned that. We learned everything we learned. We learned through experiences of what the environment that we're around or the people that we're around. So you okay, we okay, and we all can get through this together. And that's why we are having sisters, connecting queens, sisters out there connecting because we all gone through something. We all have been dropped by somebody. We all have been hurt through situations and circumstances in life. I don't know what your circumstances are, your situations. I don't know how hard, how deep you're falling. But the Bible does says he will keep you from falling. And that's why he'll bring people into your life, into your path, into your territory. We can make that divinely connection so we can help lift each other up from those low places and breathe our life into somebody, the breath of life into someone else's circumstance and situation to make you feel better. Because the Bible says that we were created as whole beings. That's our mind, people. That's our bodies and our souls. And I think that's first Thessalonians verse, I think it's 5:23. He created us mind, body, and soul because we are whole beings.
And I want to add this, as you were talking about back, like in the garden, right when Adam and Eve sinned, and the blame game, and you know how we inherited, we know with that it became part of us.
Yes.
That makes me think about. I take that like that was our past. That was our past. And then, but Jesus came along, the second Adam, he came along and he set us free. He set us free. So now we're adults. We're not children anymore. Back there in the garden of Adam and Eve, where we were hurt and
Right.
did all that other stuff. Because Jesus came along, we're adults now. We can face that what was in the past. We're not alone now. We got a second. We're free. We're free. Who the Son set free is free indeed. If you can get
Right.
that, what I'm trying to say, back
Exactly.
at what hurt us in our past, in our childhood, or somewhere in our adulthood, we can leave that back in the garden. We can leave it back in the garden because Jesus came along. Because we are adults now, we know better. We know how to handle it better. We can deal with it now. We're free. We're set free. We can get
Right.
help. We have hope. Back when we were young and small, we wasn't. I mean, we were young and small, and we felt like we, or even as an adult, a young adult, wherever your hurt was, wherever the damage was done, you felt like you was a prisoner, like you had no other place to go. But now you don't, and that's what Sisters Igniting Sisters. We want to be a safe place. We want to be a safe place where sisters can come and we can have these kind of discussions and
Exactly.
confident that get on social media and put your business out there. But where you can you can reach out to us and that hey this hey Queen, I just need to talk. I just need a listening ear. I just need a girl say, or whatever.
Right.
That's Sisters Igniting Sisters. Because if we're still living, if we're still here on earth, we're still breathing, that means that God has stuff for us. We still have purpose.
Right.
Life is not over. Back to you, Doc.
Right. That's a good. That's good. We're still here on this earth. We still have a purpose. That means that our purpose yet has not been fulfilled, and that our destiny, our journey is still. We have to keep moving forward. And now, like I said, today's society is a whole lot much different than when we were growing up as children, because we didn't have internet. We didn't have all the help out here with social medias and things to try to point us in the right direction, so we can build ourselves to be a more stronger people. A lot of people back there in those days when they were younger, what stays in this house, what is said in this house, it stays in this house. So we like a threat to us, or you're gonna get your butt whooped. So we shut down. We didn't have a place where we could reach out to social media, or a lot of times we didn't have telephones where you could call nobody. So we were kept in like bondage. We kept in a certain boundaries where we couldn't do anything. You go to school, if anybody say anything about what blah blah, then you don't know nothing, because you don't put our business out there. This is our family. You don't tell nothing. So a lot of kids went through a lot of things, a lot of hurts, and maybe a lot of hurts within your homes, or even may happen outside your home, that you thought that you could come home and talk to your mom and your dad about, but the first thing mom and dad would do was shut it down. They didn't talk about it. So you suppress all that as well in your life, and you carry that because that was a part of you that was damaged. That was a part of you that was totally, absolutely hurt, and you had no one to talk to about. So now you're fearful and you're afraid, because now mom and daddy said you cannot say anything. So you begin to blame yourself. We blame ourselves for a lot of things because we cannot express the truth feelings within ourselves. So, well, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I deserve this. Baby, let me tell you, you don't deserve pain, hurt, neglect, abuse. You don't deserve any of those things. Your value is so much worthy, so much far greater than that. So don't let nobody say that it's your fault that you deserve all the things that happen to you in your life. Never. God never created us to live in that place of hurt and pain. He created us for greatness. He created us to be our best selves, like I said, And this is a lot of times that these things happen. But today, people, you got information so deep, layer thick, that you can get help. You can get information. There are so many different organizations now that you can reach out to. You got telephone connections, you got internet connections, you got people now. So we don't, so we breaking that curse that we couldn't tell a lot of things. We couldn't say. Today you can. Because you got people, child abuses out there, neglect, or whatever situations, or you got people out there that's gonna come to your rescue. And we got the law enforcement to back us up. So let's break those curses. Let's break out those barrels, and those chains, those bonds, and all those things that we strapped on to us, and we drag our inner child right along with us, and we kept ourselves in that place of feeling fearful and hurt and afraid to talk about it. Today, you have the power in you that you always had, but now you know how much of power you have. Talk, reach out and talk to someone. There are hotlines out there that you can talk to. There are communities, there are organizations just like Sisters Uniting Sisters that you can come and talk to, and confidential, and you can talk to them. You can share those things. And so, but this is another thing I want to say. I got this note. The inner child, they hold emotions, they hold memories and beliefs from the past, as well as they hold hopes and dream for the future. And that's the one of the biggest desire. Everybody wants a bright, healthy, happy, loving future. So you do still have hope, no matter what has happened in your past life that really had hurt you, has damaged you, has left you empty, void, feeling like you're not worthy of love. Today, there is hope. There is hope. There are hope for those dreams that you have for your future. And reach out to us. Reach out to some organization, to some sisterhood, to some community that you can trust that will help you, that you can share those things with, and they will keep all that in confidentiality where you know you can trust us. Okay?
The thing is to get it out, let okay, you've been held prisoner in bondage long enough to start recognizing um,
Mhm.
recognizing. So there's reason why we respond or react the way we act. And if you can keep it in your mind, well, I wonder, and you take notice of what triggers you to react that way. You take notice of it and find out why you respond and react that way. Um,
Right.
it could be something real deep that you buried years ago, and yes, you never dealt with it. And I'm gonna say this here. When I have prayed and asked God to show me who I
Right.
am, and
Right.
some of the things that He showed me that I didn't like, you know, because it was due to stuff that I had buried, and I became somebody I didn't like.
Yeah.
No, because of the past hurt, the past pain that I had expressed, but now I've overcome. If
It's a good
you
thing.
don't bury it again. If he shows it to you, or if it's you see it, we know what is wrong, nasty, ugly, and it just isn't who you are. You know, you deal with it.
Exactly.
Don't just uh pass it like it ain't nothing. Deal with it. As if it was one of our children, we definitely will be dealing with it.
Right.
So deal with you. Just like hurt people,
Right.
heal people, heal people. Back to you, God.
Right. So if you're wondering today that while you have certain triggers that still bring up things that it hurts you right now still today, that cause you to feel uncomfortable and uneasy, listen, you have an inner child within you. That inner child has been crying out for so many years, help, help. For you to become that whole adult being yourself and to live in your best state of mind and accept you and embrace you and love you for who you were created to be, you have to go back and make that inner child connection. You might want to see a therapist. Don't tell nobody, tell you like, well, you are crazy or something's wrong with you because you got to go to a therapist. No, they're there to help you. They don't mean
Hmm.
because you lost your mind that you're crazy. People have put that craziness out there for many years, saying we go see a psychiatrist and then we are cuckoo, we are crazy, something wrong with us. No, that means that you're more wiser than they are because you're reaching out to get that help that you need. So you won't be stagnant in the places that you have lived so long, being hurt, giving up everything in life and selling for whatever that comes along. No, baby, you never have to settle for anything. You are enough. You are your greatest. You are your best, but you have to see that with your own eyes, see it from your own mindset and believe it. Now, let me say this right quick. Yesterday, when I was talking in the video, why is it important to connect with our inner child? Why is it important? And how does connecting with our inner child will help us with our self-image? Well, let me say this right quick. I got my notes here. It said by connecting with our inner child that we gain access to new information about our unhealed wounds. We gain new information about our needs that may not have been met when we were a child. So that's a good thing now because we're going back to those past hurts. We are facing them. So the more that we stand up to the past hurts and the pains and we face them, guess what we're doing? We're taking down that big monster. We are eliminating. the power that was over us. We are putting our powers back to where God has given us that power to stand in our own greatness. And we're calling out those enemies and we're calling out those lies. And anytime you call out an enemy, you call out a lie, that decreases the power. They get cowardly and they want to run away because now you are standing up and you're allowing them to see that you cannot step over the boundaries in my life anymore. I'm pulling that power back to myself. So the inner child, it represents though our capacity for innocence. Because when all those things happened to us, we were very innocent. We were children. And children are the most innocent things out there. I'm telling you, people. Because when a child tells you something, they're telling you genuinely from their heart. They are pure. But we have so many people that come in and damage the innocence that we had. They come damage our hurts, our beliefs. They damage our mind that we begin to think poison, ugliness. We see somebody's body, whatever. We think, oh, that's dirty, it's nasty. Because they put these dirty, nasty thoughts in our minds. Because children, you are so innocent. The inner child represents, let's say, our capacity for innocence and the wonder, the awe, the joy, the beauty, the love. And the inner child loves playfulness. So anytime you find yourself adults, you grown people, my sisters, my queens, whoever you are out there, you find yourself in that playful state, the inner child has just entered back into your life because the inner child loves play. They love jumping in the water, jumping in the puddles. They love doing somersaults. They love flipping. They love doing those things that they probably never got to do as much as they wanted to do as a child because somebody said, you can't do that. No, I need you to grow up. I need you to be this. I need you to be that. But you never got to be all that God created for you to be. And first, He created you as a child. So you have to live out all those moments because if not, it's going to always come back into your adulthood. And it's nothing wrong to get out there and do a somersault, to do some cartwheels, go out there and do some splits, swing on the swings, jump in the water puddles, all those things. That's a part of who you are. So it is also the inner child. It holds a whole lot of trauma, my sisters, that we can let go of today. Let today be today. Say, I'm letting go of all those past hurts. I'm letting go of all those limited beliefs. I'm letting go all those things that no longer serves me. I'm letting go of those things that has no power and control over my life because I am back into the drawing board. I'm back into the driver's seat. I control my own life. So you got to go and reach out to someone if you're still experiencing these things in your life today. If you're still carrying those past hurts and those pains because you're dragging that stuff right onto your generation, your family, and you're still holding that family, you hold that family curse against you and the next generation in your life, in your children's life, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. Somebody got to be bad enough, strong enough, powerful enough, strong enough to say, today it stops here. I'm breaking that curse. You got to learn to experience the moments and go through it knowing that you got someone out there that's going to hold you up, that's going to support you. And I tell you all the time, you got to be you, do you for you. So listen to this. You got the power within you to do whatever that you wanted to do. So I want you to do some research on the inner child. I want you to reach out and find that help that you need. Get into, like I said, a sisterhood group. Get into some behavior group. Someone that's out there trying to help you. Because you need to experience and know that there is inner child work out there for you. There is inner child healing that's out there. Go to someone that can do inner child healing. Now, let me say this. Never try to do inner child work on yourself. That is crazy. You need someone with the experience, qualified, professional to help you to do inner child work because I'm going to tell you this. Those past hurts going to come up on you so fast. It's going to hurt you. It's going to take you down like you've been slayed by the biggest monster. and you're not ready to face that alone because you couldn't face it then. You need someone who have experience that can help you with the inner child work. You need someone to help you with inner child therapy. And the most important thing that people don't understand, and I'm going to say this, Ari, then I'm going to give it back to you. You have to reparent your inner child. Your inner child is yourself. And it's just like you're a parent and you're parenting your children. Well, your inner child is that little child still there, waiting for that love, waiting for the acceptance, waiting for it to be forgiven for the things that has happened in their past. They still need guidance. They still need love. They still need protection. And I see Ira over there holding her, filling that cup up, an empty cup. Turn the cup up. That inner child needs that cup turned up so you can pour it back into that child's life. You got to reparent that child. You got to teach that child what love is. You got to teach that child what forgiveness is. You got to teach that child their greatness, their value. You got to pour into them. They've been empty so long. They've been hurt so long. They have been damaged so long. They got holes in their cups that's been drained out of there. Make sure your cup is totally, absolutely complete. No leaks in it. Pour in and fill it. Reparent. You become the parent. So let me, Ari going to show you. Go ahead, Ari. You got this, girl.
I think you just did, told them about the cup. Yeah,
You,
I love that cup analogy with all the hurt and all the bondage that we've been holding on to, and as long as we holding on to it, this is what we're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get. You can't get anything in there. You can't get anything in it because you still holding on to that bondage. You still got it. The minute you start identifying it and start addressing it, uh, getting rid of it, getting healed of it, then you can continue to pour in, and God will start to pour into you, and it'll start running over. It'll start overflowing. It because He's putting something into you. You made room for growth, so you'll be
yes,
able to be effective and help others. You might be helping someone now, with your cup turned down, but it's not your full potential. It's not your full potential because the cup is down and you haven't dealt with that hurt or that whatever is holding you bondage. You haven't dealt with it. You're still doing this. But the minute you start recognizing and identify, you turn that cup up, start pouring into it. As you start
right.
freeing of the bondage, more God can pour more into you. He can pour
And
more into
me,
you flow. So this has been a self-care moment with Dr. Destiny and Ivory She's Blessed Smith. And on behalf of Marissa and all our other sister queens and out there, we just wanted that video she put up the other day. I thought that we should expound a little bit more on it.
right,
Uh, we thank all of you who joined us or whoever is watching this video. Hope that it blesses you, encourages you to deal with some of that hitting bondage, that hitting hurt that you haven't dealt with. And when it
right,
come up, please press it. Please don't suppress it. Go ahead and address it, deal with it, get the help that you need.
right.
And that's it.
And
Doc, you have any?
it, if you're out there, I don't know if you're in the bushes or you might hit the replay later, but please watch this video, this live screen video that we just put up today in its entirety because there's so much valuable information that's going to help you. That just don't click on it in 2 seconds. You'll click out maybe 5 minutes at the most. You need to hear this whole entire message. Ira and I, we have poured our hearts into this message today that we have put out there. Everything we know within us that God has given us to speak to our sisters out there. Hey, baby, don't shy away from it. This is something. Now is the time you gotta stand in faith. And plus, make sure that you hit that like button there, thumbs up, get the thumbs up. Share out this super amazing channel, Sisters Uniting Sisters. Tell people about us. Put us out there on social medias, different websites. Let them know that there is a place that they can come, that they can get their cup filled, that they can get the love and the care and the need that that they really know that someone really cares. We care over here about you. We want to see you being your best and better version of whom you were created to be. We want to see that greatness flourish from you because we know it's in there. But sometimes you just need someone to just help you to give you a lift. And like I said, we will pour into your emptiness. We will pour into your low self-esteem. We will deflate all those things. We will deflate them. So we want to see you blow up. So subscribe. Sisters United to subscribe to our channel. Hit the thumbs up, like it. Go out there and just put us all over social media and tell people, come, I found a sisterhood that is for sisters truly, that really loves and care about us.
Yes, that's who we are. There are some things that we do on social media, and there's some things it's just one on one. It's a confidential thing. Um,
Yeah,
we don't believe in putting your business out there. If you want it out there, then you will put it out there. But what you confide in us is going to stay with us.
exactly.
Anything we're going to pray over it, but we're not going to put it out there. We're not. There's things like this, like the self care things that we might put out on social media, informational stuff, but not stuff that you confide in us. We don't do that. We don't do that. And that's what a sisterhood is about. That's the one that you feel safe that you can come to, and she's got your back and that she's looking out for you good. That's what Sisters Igniting Sisters is about. And we like igniting one another's fire and
Just lighten
fanning.
that fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So get lit. So let's say we gonna get lit, right? Ira? Get lit,
get
sisters.
lit. You
Get
ain't
lit.
lit, get with us. Yes. So and we're gonna say thank you, and thank you for your time, and hope that this blesses you. You're blessed to be a blessing, and always be in blessed mode. Dr. D and Ivory out.
Is it this way or is it this way or is it is it this way?
Do
We
that
just
first.
blew the plane. Okay. Hold on. Peace up. Peace out. Love you guys. Thank you. Thanks to Avery. I really thank you so much for all that you share in this video, your information. It was very valuable and very helpful. And hey, it was great to me. You did an
That's what
excellent,
you do.
marvelous job.
You did the same. We did it. That's what it's about. Us,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sisterhood. So we're out, Queens. Have a blessed Sunday. Be safe. Hope your week be blessed, and look forward to seeing you on our next live stream or
And
pop up.
pop up. And go back one more time and say it again.